and I'm trying to get better as we go. Welcome if you've never joined. The name of my channel is Inspirational Nomad. My name is Sam. What I try to do on every live stream, I try to go live daily around 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the US. I try to have one framework, one specific topic that I talk about, and then I also freestyle and I engage, my regular viewers and then some people that are just checking in. I am open to talk about anything, politics, religion, social issues, etc. I live full time out of my Jeep Renegade, and that's been my journey the past year. And a lot of people who check in on my channel, that's what they like to talk about: living out of their car, living out of their van. But my main core message is this: a simplistic life and taking care of your mind, body, and soul. That's always, my overall theme, no matter what the topic is for the day. And the topics go, on a variety of issues. I try to structure it around one thing, but I leave it open to whatever people are sharing. If they're going through something, we could talk about it, and whatever it is. And I'm okay. I'm okay with being imperfect. I am okay with not being for everyone. I am okay for, what I mean. I am not your tap dance entertainment for tonight. You know what I mean. Some people may like it, some people may not. You have to have that stillness in your being in order to be effective in whatever you do in life. You cannot wait for someone else to give you the gratification to give. Excuse me, as the video went in and out. Apologize that. But you can't wait for someone else to give you that okay. You have to be willing to just do it. You have to be bold enough to speak it, and you have to be humble enough to self-correct as time goes on. And that's how you learn, and that's how you grow, and that's how you keep pushing forward in life. And that's key to anything. It's key to anything. So tonight, as I search my soul on what I want to share about, what can be helpful, what is inside me, and what do I reflect on at times. And so the main issue I was reflecting on today is, how do you heal? Because if you've been part of any live chat, or you've been part of any dialogue, is you see that everyone faces one common theme in life, and that is they have faced hurt. Okay, whether it's a relationship hurt, whether it's a financial hurt, whether it's losing a loved one, hurt and pain is a common theme of life. And those, sometimes physical, okay, physical pain, and those who are able to process that pain and still push forward are those who stay inspired. Not easy though, not easy. So I want to share what's on my spirit with that today, on what can help, what has helped me. Let me say that because I don't want to come across preachy. What has helped me heal from pain, whether it's physical pain, financial pain, emotional pain. What has helped me heal? And then obviously always open it up to dialogue to anybody else who has things to add to the conversation, because that's part of life, is a collective conversation and collective perspectives. But the first thing I want to share with you when it comes to healing is time separation. It's going to take time, and it's going to take separating yourself from whatever it is that has caused you pain. Separation is the first step to healing. If you're in an unhealthy relationship, the first step to healing is separation. Dana, I was thinking about you all day, Dana. Dana Hanna, you gave such a beautiful exposure to your soul last night. I want you to know that I thought about you all day today. And almost, not that this subject is, but I just want to say I thought about you all day. Love and respect to you, Dana. Love and respect to you. Yes, thank you for joining. Thank you always for sharing. And my first thought today, and then we'll just free flow, but is the first step to healing is separating yourself from whatever it is that's causing you pain. If it's a relationship, you have to get away from it. You have to. That time and that separation away from what's causing you pain, then you start to heal. If you're caught up in gambling, how do you start to get rational thought again? You have to step away from a period of time of anything that's risky financially. If you're struggling, with food, especially on the weekend, I make this, the video on the weekend. I know it's harder. It's harder to eat healthy on the weekend because there's this thing that, it's time to party, it's time to enjoy ourselves. And rightfully so. You should have a well-balanced life. And part of that is having fun and enjoying it and enjoying somewhat food. But How do you break that cycle where the food you're eating is hurting you? You have to throw out everything in that house that's unhealthy. You have to. You have to separate yourself totally from unhealthy food. You can't have it in the house. There's no magic answer, but that's the answer. The separation. How do you heal spiritually? If you feel you were led astray by a pastor, if you were led astray by a YouTube guy that was pumping you up to go live full time out of your van, but he never or live in an RV, and he never really told you about the ups and downs, and he never gave you accurate perspective. I said one video a few weeks back or a few days back, and those who are in the nomad community know this, that I mentioned Nomadic Fanatic, and I got from a lot of beautiful viewers. They were really upset with me for some reason. Well, not for some reason, because a lot of people feel like this guy's a con artist, and he may be. I said that in the beginning of my video. But what I got from that when I heard the comments was I heard pain. I heard that a lot of people had bought into his vision, but then felt like they were led astray, and there's pain there. There's pain. Hey, it's Miss Kimberly. I missed you last night, but I know that it was a Friday night. Your hair just got done new this week, so I shouldn't even expect you on the weekend. If I get you on the weekend looking as good as you're looking at 33 years old, and I know you're on a hunt, it's a win if I get you. I'm very humble. Thank you. You look amazing. And I always miss you, but I always want you. And I want everyone who ever shares with me to have tremendous freedom. There's not a manipulation game going here. There's no collection plate after these live streams, My goal is to grow myself, to get better. I'm trying to get better each time I do this. And sometimes oh shit, I didn't do that good that night. But you know what I mean? That's part of life. You have to put yourself out there. You have to try that. But freedom is love, all right? Not controlling. Controlling is the opposite of freedom. If you're in a controlling relationship, no good. All right, I want to zoom back on that comment. Dana, right back at you, Sam. Thank you. You are so right. Love the way you take life on. Thank you. I agree with you. If you put clean food in the results, yes, wonderful. I miss you. I miss you too, Miss McKinley. Thank you, Dana. Thank you. It's Miss Kimberly. So tonight, the main thing on my spirit was, how do you heal? The first step to healing is stepping away, separating yourself. I only got a few minutes, but I'm tuning in. Respect and love to you, Miss Kimberly. You have the freedom. And I thank you for tuning in even for a couple minutes. And I want to let you know, if I don't get to say goodbye to you, I want you to go in peace. I want you to have a great night. I want you to laugh, party, or do whatever you want to do. Be safe and be you, all right? And if somebody doesn't like you for being you, F them. You understand what I'm saying? Keep it moving. God bless you. Stay inspired. Now, the first step to healing is separating yourself. Separating yourself from an unhealthy relationship, separating yourself from unhealthy food, throwing everything in that house that's unhealthy. Because after 9 o'clock it's going to happen. Something's going to happen bad. Separating yourself from a group of friends that every time you hang out with them, there's drama. There's insecurities that come out in you when you hang around a certain amount of people or with a certain group of people. Separate yourself. You don't need that. Life is hard enough just to keep yourself going. The last thing you need to be doing is fighting your inner circle. You don't need that. And if you've been hurt in life, and we all have, double hands up for that. If I could give you double hands up and double hands up emoji, I would give you that. We've all been hurt in life. The only way to heal is to separate yourself from whatever is hurting you. Gambling is a big problem. If you're taking on too much risk, whether it's in a casino, whether it's with the stock market, whether it's whatever, I'm not against risk, but I've been in a frenzy state and an emotional state in different areas of my life. And that births pain, okay? Because an uncontrolled mind is going to take you somewhere where you're going to feel pain. You'll feel physical pain if you eat unhealthy, if you're in a frenzy mode of, oh my God, I got to go get everything. I got to stop at Wendy's to get the Wendy's fries. I got to stop at McDonald's to get this, and then I got to stop at Chipotle to get this. And then you go home, you stuff everything, and then you pass out. Separate yourself from that food. You have to. Separate yourself from that relationship. Separate yourself from that financial risk. Separate yourself from that pastor or that life coach. Like, I saw some YouTube thing today, like I was reading YouTube things. I was actually researching, I'll be totally honest with you. I was researching, like, how do you become a better YouTuber, okay? Because I kind of just did this thing on the fly. And, even now, I want to do it on the fly. I don't want to be, like, orchestrated type thing. I don't like that. That doesn't inspire me. And when I watched, like, I researched how do you be a better YouTuber, it was so orchestrated. Like, I was watching some person talking about, like, you know what I mean? She was a life coach. Like, how do you, like, interconnect with your audience? And it was so fake. It was so fake. And I'm like, she's a life coach. I mean, I think life coaches, one, I think they're crooks. Almost to the extent that, a pastor could be a crook, because, a life coach, yes, someone can inspire you and someone can instruct you, but I think the word life coach to me is almost demeaning to the person that you're rocking with. It's like, yeah, I'm coaching you up on how to live life. Yes, you need some help in life, but ultimately, only thing you need is someone to help you discover how great you already are and how you have all the tools inside you. And when you do become the best you, some people still aren't going to like you. I don't give a fuck how great a life coach you have. And that's what I'm telling you. If you're with a certain group of people that you can have It's Miss Kimberly's hair, you can have Dana's heart, and they still don't like you, you don't need to be around those people. Separate yourself. Separate yourself. That's healing. And that's what you need in life. Because a healed soul, a healed body, and a healed mind will take you to where you need to be. It will take you to, stay away, Dana's coming in hot. Stay away from people who suck the life out of you. Definitely amen to that. I want to meet you and share a meal with you and talk about life. That's possible. I'm not at that point in my journey yet when I'm ready, but I receive and thank you for that invitation, and I reserve it for a later date when I'm at that point. Thank you, Dana. Love and respect to you. That's right. Thank you, It's Miss Kimberly. Thank you. Thank you. That's all I respect and love you as I respect and love myself. That's the other thing. Okay, now how do you heal? After you separate yourself, you learn how to build up your self-confidence. Okay? Self-confidence, hard to let go of a few friends because they are draining me. I understand that. It was very hard for me to let go of certain friends when I was in my youth, and I loved them, and they weren't necessarily bad people, but I knew, God showed me that the only way I'm going to grow into where I wanted to be was I needed to separate myself. And it's hard to be lonely. And loneliness, let me slow down. Loneliness usually seduces you into the wrong things, because loneliness is an uncontrolled emotion. Never forget that. Self-control is your friend. Emotional out of control is your enemy. Never forget that. After you have separated yourself, building up your self-confidence to say no. That is the next step. Not some whole long, building up your self-confidence to say no and not feel guilty. And if somebody wants to make you feel guilty for saying no, that's not who you're supposed to be with. Okay? And so, separation first, then the confidence to say no and to say yes to the things that inspire you or that you want to do. Okay, whether it's a relationship, whether it's your living situation, whatever it is. Excuse me a sec. Okay, I had to. Yeah, definitely. Please don't take that the wrong way. Meant as a friend, Dana. I know you meant that as a friend. And one is, I want you to have the confidence to ask me anything you want. Okay, I don't want. Anytime that we have dialogue, the last thing that's on my heart is to make anyone feel insecure or ashamed. So I want you to have the freedom, and I want you to have the self-confidence, not just with me, Dana, and not just with anybody else that's listening. Not just to ask me anything. Ask anyone anything, okay? Because beauty lies in a question. That's number one. And number two is, number two is don't worry about what the answer is, okay? You have to be confident enough that if you get a yes, if you get a no, or if somebody takes it the wrong way, then, it is what it is. But if it's something on your spirit that you need to ask, then you ask it. Okay? Because I want you to be confident in you. And I don't want you to be led by your insecurities. I want you to be secure in you, in being you. Okay? So know that is my heart. All right? And I want to build you up when you deal with these freaking wolves out there. Because never forget, I send you out as a sheep amongst the wolves. Never forget that. Okay? Okay? Definitely. So first is separation. Then is rebuilding. You're rebuilding your confidence. You're rebuilding yourself, and you're getting that energy back. Like it's Miss Kimberly was saying, there's certain people that drain your energy. So after you've separated yourself and you're building yourself up, you're regaining your energy. Now, that final and third step that I really wanted to share is now it's learning to where to redirect that energy, where to reinvest, whether it's that time in a relationship, whether it's that money in a business venture or business opportunity, or if it's a new living situation. After you have separated yourself, after you have rebuilt yourself, then the only way to grow is you can't now just say, all right, now I'm good, I'm going to play it safe the rest of my life. Can't do that. But you have to now be wiser through the pain. No guarantees. But now the final step of growth is, where do you redirect yourself? Where do you redirect yourself? Okay? So the redirection should be based somewhat on lessons learned. And I encourage you to make some type of, whether it's a Outlook reminder, whether it's something in a written note, whatever, is I write down sometimes when I failed, what time it was that I failed, and what was going on. In different situations, I've done that. It helps me to keep a log. It's Miss Kimberly. What do you do to calm your spirit? How do you relax your mind? First, I breathe. And I slow my spirit. Even like now, like I get excited sometimes. And every time I've rushed, I fail. I remember that. When I redirect my energy after I've healed, I remember that every time I've rushed, I failed. Every time I rushed out the door, like, you know what I mean? It's Saturday night, like I'm rushing to get changed, I'm rushing to get to this place. Doesn't end good. If you have to rush, that's the biggest red flag to say stop, breathe, and realize you should never be rushing anywhere. Rushing leads to regret. Never forget that. So it's hard, but I believe you can do it. And I believe it's a goal, right? So that's the thing, is like, I don't want you to put an unfair expectation on yourself that, okay, now I have the magic 3 principles on how to, be successful. That's bullshit. What you have is a level of structure, and you have a goal. The goal doesn't mean you always succeed. The goal means that you have a focus, you have an aim, you have a structured mind. You're not just winging it. When you're winging it, bad news, bad things are going to happen. And so focusing your energy on people that reciprocate that energy in the manner that you need it, okay? That mutual balanced interaction is key. If you have to constantly keep somebody up, that's not good. Redirect your energy, okay? And because what I've learned in life, when I've tried to heal and when I've failed, is that I get more nervous, more anxious when I am trying to get someone to my same level. You can't get someone to your same level. They're either at your same level or they want to be at your same level. But someone who is not at your level and doesn't want to be at your level, that nervous energy feeds on itself. And instead of you calming yourself down, I don't care how many times you go, you basically, it's not going to happen. Because that person's focus is not of your focus. You're not like-minded. And of course, that's when you're dealing with another person. When you're dealing with yourself, and we're talking about just strictly solo life goals, you calm yourself, one, by the music you play. Okay, the main music I like is rap, is R&B. When I am really at a place where I'm nervous and I'm anxious, I listen to either classical music or slow jazz. I need something. It varies, but I need something to calm me down. I take deep breaths and I go for a walk. Okay? I go for a walk. And that restructures my thoughts to get me back in the healing zone. The healing zone is needed for the right choice. The erratic zone, the over-emotional zone, is always going to lead you to the wrong choice. And that zone is filled with rush and anxiety. Calmness and refocus is the key. Not easy in the middle of the thing. Dana, I was, and I hear you, Miss Kimberly, yes, thank you for the yes. Dana, I was a traffic officer, that's very interesting, for 12 years. And I had hundreds of people a day screaming. See, that's a very stressful thing, and emotions get going at me and saying disgusting things to me. I had to get a thick skin. That's part of it too. I can open up to you because I like the way you think. Thank you, Dana. Thank you for sharing it. You're helping all of us. So a traffic officer, when you're a traffic officer and you're in an intersection, there's so much organized energy coming all at you from all different directions. So one thing that I like, Dana, that she shared is she had to learn to develop thick skin. Okay, how do you develop thick skin? One is you once had soft skin, so you have to get hurt. That's one. So once you get hurt with soft skin, your scar heals. You have a scar, it heals, and your skin will get tougher. So how do you heal? You have to go through that initial pain. Then you have to, take time to step back to heal that wound. Then when you redirect your energy into that environment, okay, you have to have you will have that thick skin to deal with that overload of emotion. And then you will realize that you will not help the situation by getting scared. You help the situation by directing your energy and directing others, okay? I took a leadership course on what do you do if there's an emergency, whether it's a terrorist attack, etc., etc. It was a certain thing based on my job criteria. And the first thing they said, you also get this training if you ever do any type of CPR training, okay? And if you were a traffic officer, maybe you got something similar. Is that when you're in an emergency event and somebody's on the ground and they need serious medical attention, the first thing you do is you check them and you point specifically to one person. You call out that person's name and you say, hey, Steven, you call 911. You don't go and say, someone call 911. Because the difference between saying Steven call 911 and someone call 911 is there's two different. One has a specific focus of energy. The other one, it's unfocused energy. When you say someone call 911, that energy goes everywhere and no one has a focus, no one has a direction. When you say Steven or it's Miss Kimberly or Dana call 911, then that person gets your energy, it's directed, it's focused, and action happens. A wasted life is unfocused energy. And it usually equals spending time with other people who have unfocused energy. And there's no way you heal and there's no way you grow in that situation. Because I want to be very clear, the end game to healing is growing. That's the whole purpose. That's the whole purpose. I even talk about why talk about healing. I don't want to make something where I lead you astray for 45 minutes and I waste the whole purpose of understanding the healing process and what you need to do and what I need to do, okay, because I'm included in that, and I go through that, because I'm human like all of us, is that we want to grow. I have a good friend that just got surgery on his knee, okay? This guy is one of the most high energy, disciplined, focused workers I've ever been around. I mean, ever. And so he got his ALC replaced and his meniscus, okay? You know what the first step for him to do to on the road to recovery is a week worth of just, excuse me, I'm sorry, I get knocked off. But what I was sharing with you is I know someone that just had knee surgery. This guy is a great guy, a lot of good energy, a lot of discipline, a lot of structured mind. He knows how to structure himself. He knows how to get things done. Good with organization, good with following up. He gets knee surgery. And the first step to his healing process is to sit. It's to step back, sit, and sleep for a week so that his being can heal or it can begin the healing process. After the first week, then he will begin to redirect his energy into rehab, into physical rehab. Then he has to redirect energy and do the next step for healing and for growing. But the first thing you need to do, if you're in a financial situation where you're making poor decisions, if you're in a relationship where it's leading nowhere but pain, nowhere but hurt, is separate and heal. Take time, step back. Because you're in an you're in an unrational state. You're rushing, and rushing leads to regret. And it leads to a lot of injuries, it leads to a lot of hurt. And also now, as I'll just go into a little bit of a free-flowing session, is that how that ties into me, Dana, you have to stay focused and very calm. Very hard to do. You're 100% right. I would come home to my fur babies, and I'm assuming those are dogs, and hug them. And I agree with that, and that's why there's many now what I see, and I'm going to read the rest of your comment in a minute, Dana, but I wanted to just pause with you for a minute, is now many dogs are issued as physical therapy dogs, meaning like the service dogs, they have a jacket, because dogs have been known to help relieve anxiety. So now again, I want to be clear, and I don't want to pander to you. I think anything more than two dogs or two pets, I think is unhealthy, because I think there's too much there. Then they begin to run in a pack, and they don't have a focus. They run in a pack rather than to serving, you know what I mean, their owner. But I believe, yes, dogs are healing, and they help relieve anxiety. They would love me, yes. Love, you need love. You need to step back and be loved and comfort me. Yes, you need that. You have to find out with a human. You have to find a human that helps me that way. Well, what my goal, my goal is to get you to help you that way. Because no one in this world, not Sammy, not Inspirational Nomad, not Joel Osteen, not anyone else, and there's no disrespect to anybody, but I know enough to know that only you and God inside you, or the spirit inside you, or whatever you want to believe, the yoga force, whatever, only you can love you the way you need to be loved. And only you can fully repair yourself with the God inside you, etc. That's all right. That's all right. We get knocked off. But we get knocked off, but we come back on. But only you can truly heal yourself, and everyone else is going to let you down. You will find special people that will encourage you along this journey, but you have to get to the point where you're at a whole place. I want you to be whole. And part of healing, why it's important to heal, why it's important to know the steps: separation, rebuild, and redirect. Those are the 3 steps in my opinion. You separate yourself from what's hurting you, you repair your pain, you repair yourself, and then you redirect your energy into a different direction than you once did. Okay? You have to choose different action steps. So true, Dana. It's Miss Kimberly is with you. I love dogs. Unconditional love. That's very true. They are a lot of work too, but they are unconditional love. I had a boxer dog for 10 years. She was my heart. She was my baby. And she taught me a lot about life. And I don't think I would ever have as much perspective as if I didn't have a dog. Almost for me like a child, failing even at the end of her life when she had got older. And I wish some days when I came home from work, I was more patient with her, because she couldn't hold her bathroom habits, etc. And I was stressing about a lot of things at the time. I had a lot going on in my life. And I said, damn, when she passed away, I said, I only thought about the days that I was a little bit impatient with her. And I said, damn, I wish I was a little bit more patient. So I want to share that with you too, that I failed on different days with her, with that. But overall, dogs taught me a lot. And it's Miss Kimberly had a husky. I had a husky very young growing up. But yeah, a lot of work. They are a lot of work. I had a husky when I was a kid, and my mom bought it. Alaskan husky, actually. She had gray and black hair, and they shed a lot. They do a lot of shedding, and so you have to be ready for that. When you have a dog, you have to accept that your house will never be 100% clean, and that's okay. I'm not one of those people that think that, a house is meant to be lived in. Okay, now I live full time out of my car, so I'm in a different and maybe a unique situation. I know a lot of people don't want to do that, and that's great. But anytime you have another being in your house, it's not going to be 100% clean. It's not going to be 100% the way you want it. Yes, mine was all white. His name was Polar. I like that name. That's a good name. That's a creative name. It's Miss Kimberly. Well, I shouldn't even ask that. I don't think that's, I don't want to ask if you live alone, because you shouldn't even disclose that. But I know you have an apartment, and I know you're out there, and you're just being you, and you're growing. And Miss Kimberly, Miss Kimberly too, what I wanted to say to you was, happy Veterans Day. Because yesterday when I didn't see you, that's one thing that was on my spirit, because I know you said you did 4 years in the service. So I definitely want to salute you and just say happy Veterans Day to you. Love and respect to anybody who served. And also to service dogs, all right? Because service dogs are actually a big part of the armed forces. Never forget, when Bin Laden got captured, I think it was like 25 Army guys and 2 service dogs. 2 German Shepherds that helped get Bin Laden. Okay, so service dogs play a big part. And yes, thanks. No, love and respect to you. It's Miss Kimberly. Love and respect to you. I'm so proud of you. I think you're a leader. I think you'll do nothing but continue to grow. And so that. I'm a fan. No, I don't want to. Dana, life is messy. That's true, Dana. And you have grace, Dana. I want you to know you have grace. It is what it is. It's all good. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Dana, receive grace. Okay. I want you going forward to not have any thoughts that hurt yourself. Don't hurt yourself with your thoughts. You keep repairing yourself. You stay around people that love you. And you have to realize that, nobody's going to love you like you, including me. You have to just continue to work on your self-confidence and loving yourself, and you have it, all the gifts inside you, and you have everything inside you, and you be you. If you want to be, I'm sensitive too. I mean, sometimes I'm confident enough to be firm, but I'm sensitive, so I understand a sensitive spirit. And I'm not one of those people to say, like you say, you had to grow tough skin because you were a traffic officer. And to some extent, you're right. I think it's wisdom to not react to every time someone nudges you, because people throughout your life will nudge you. All right, but also stay sensitive. A sensitive soul is a blessing. To have empathy is a blessing. Okay, you have to balance the two. That's all. That's all. But we heal, and that's what my main core message was tonight. Excuse me, and I feel so good that I got that out, because I want to try to direct my energy and at least try to get the first 15 minutes and at least share what's seriously on my heart, and then I go from there and talk about different things. And one thing I definitely want to talk about now that that's part of it is last night it was cold as hell. All right, it was 20 degrees. Bye, Sam. See you later. Bye, it's Miss Kimberly. Thank you so much for stopping in. Love and respect you. Have a peaceful night. Be safe, and never forget, if you have any questions about something and you don't feel comfortable in a situation, you walk away, okay? Because you're worth it. God bless you. Love and respect. And so that was a great topic. I really like It's Miss Kimberly. She's a great viewer, very positive person. And I like Dana. I like, it's all good. Now, what I was sharing, being done with the main topic, is that, it was cold last night. All right, it was 20 degrees, sleeping in a car now, just as I get into Nomad Talk. And I wasn't fully layered up because that was the first night that it really got that low. I mean, I think the coldest it was before that was about 30 degrees. And there's a big difference between 30 and 20. So once I got down to 20, then I felt it. Like last night I was shivering a little bit when I woke up around 1. So tonight what I'll do is, once I take my shower in the gym, etc., then I'm going to layer up so I don't have to. You don't want to have to layer up in the middle of the night. That's part of the learning process. Okay. This was the coldest night I ever been in my car. I think 30 degrees was the prize coldest night, but 20 degrees, definitely by far the coldest. You want to layer up prior to going to bed. So that's the lesson learned from last night, and that's what I'll do tonight after I take the shower in the gym. So I'm looking forward to that, to being layered up, to get my scarf on, etc., and to push forward. Overall, though, it's been a positive week, and I feel good, and I'm continuing to learn to let go of negative thoughts. And I like to keep saying that to fully describe and to fully communicate that action that I want to take, is that I'm learning to let go of any unhealthy thoughts, any insecurities. I'm learning to let them go, and that's really helping me be free flowing, and helping me not to get frozen in the mirror, as I like to say. When you get frozen in the mirror, I made a video about that one time. It's like you come out of the gym shower or whatever. You're at home right now, and you look in the mirror, after you go to the bathroom, and you get frozen. Why do you get frozen? You know your body. I mean, you know your body like no one else. You get frozen because of insecure thoughts, because of comparison. We talked about comparison the other night. Comparison, insecure thoughts, and your mind gets frozen in this dark place. Dana, go to industrialsafetygear.com. They have great things that are small to gear to your body and keep you warm. I'll check that out. I have a bunch of things. Thank you, Dana, for the suggestion. I have a bunch of things, but this last night I didn't put them on because, it's like that first night of the season that it really went low. And to put all that stuff on in the middle of the night is very hard when you're living in a car, because you don't want to get up at midnight and get out of your car and layer up. Because, I just have a Jeep Renegade that I live out of. So I don't have enough room to fully get changed like that. But that's a good suggestion. Good suggestion. But you don't want to get frozen. You don't want to let your mind get frozen in a dark place. It's the free-flowing mind that stays creative, that stays engaged, that stays healthy, that stays confident. Let go, especially at nighttime. You know what I mean? On Instagram last night I was talking about that. It's like the nighttime, it makes you sad. And it makes you hold on to some negative things from the past. And it makes you keep track of who's checking for you. You shouldn't be doing that. Your mind should be free-flowing. You should be checking for yourself. And you should be checking, and you should have a mind that is so clear of negative thoughts that the only thing you feel is your inner inspiration. And you let go of every eye that is on you. When you're uptown window, uptown window. That is respect and love to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's here tonight. True, night is bad for the mind. To wander, that is why I like YouTube. I love YouTube. And uptown window, I hope you're doing good in Pittsburgh. I love you too, and I appreciate you. Thank you. And now uptown window, a great viewer from Pittsburgh. I believe she's in the real estate industry, and I really enjoyed connecting with her. Now, Pittsburgh's a beautiful city. I went there a few months back, and what I was really impressed about, yes, sir. What I was really impressed about uptown window, like and like any viewers who never been to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, I would put that on my bucket list. Now, I've traveled mainly up and down the East Coast of America, and I would say Pittsburgh, I think, is a very unique city. Here's why it's unique. The bridges. It's almost like, when you travel to Pittsburgh and you go through the hills of Pennsylvania, it's almost like you're in the middle of all this rural country land, and then you run into an oasis, a city oasis nestled in the middle of country land. And it's like an island, Pittsburgh, and it's an island in the middle of the country land, and rivers connect it. There's rivers surrounding it, and there's bridges. The bridges is what I meant to say. The bridges connect it, and there's something magical about that beauty. It's very unique, very unique. And I was very impressed. It's on a smaller scale than New York, but there's a beauty there, and it's a rustic town that has been remodernized. Where was I at? I don't know if it was. Thank you. Well put. Thank you, Uptown Window. I was at Uptown Window. Once I got out of Starbucks in the morning, I was at a coffee shop. I was on my Instagram too. I took a picture next to City. I don't know if it's City Plaza. It's the all glass building. You tell me, Uptown Window. It's the all glass building with the pointy. It almost looks like a glass castle in the middle of downtown Pittsburgh. What's the name of that city building? Is City Plaza 1 or something like that? PBG Place. Maybe that's it. PBG Place. This piece of architecture is so beautiful. It's like a glass in Market Square. Yes, that's where it was. It's like a glass castle is the best way to put it. And the bottom line is, and you can also see a professional sports team, the PNC, I believe it was the PNC Bank baseball stadium, etc. You can see all of them. I walked the whole entire city. I didn't take any transportation. I like to, at my age and stuff, I like to just walk around the city. When I lived up north, I went there and quite a bit. It was beautiful. Yes, Dana, where are you from again? What place do you currently live? So Dana has visited Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, beautiful place, and it was very vibrant when I went there. There's a lot of movement. It looked like a lot of economic growth. There was a lot of construction. Of course, the economy has been high. But I just found a tremendous amount of beauty in the city. I definitely would put it on a to visit list. And I just loved it. And I actually slept at a rest stop on the way there. The rest stop was great. Now I went there from, I think, at that time I was in Maryland, and then I forgot what route I took. I went from Maryland, and then I went kind of like up northeast into Pittsburgh. And as you get closer to Pittsburgh, there's so many great rest stops for any nomads out there. I know there may not be that many, but great, safe rest stops. I slept at a couple. I had no problem. I slept by the truckers. And inside the rest stops, they were like totally new rest stops. As far as inside, I mean, I don't eat much of the food, but I stopped there for the Starbucks. Bathroom's clean. Dana lives in North Carolina. Oh, okay. Respect and love to North Carolina. That's right. Thank you, Dana. I haven't spent too much time in North Carolina. Only drove through on I-95. And Uptown Window agrees. Yeah, Uptown Window, you live. I mean, you live in the city or you live by the city. I certainly don't want you to disclose your location, but I know you're in that area, and I respect that. And but that's what I would say to any nomads traveling. Now, obviously, to be honest with you, I don't know if you want to travel there this time of the year, because it's cold as hell right now. Okay. Now it's 20 degrees in northern New Jersey. I don't know what it is in Pittsburgh. Uptown Window, what is it right now? If you look on your phone or something, what's the temperature? Yeah, Uptown Window will testify to that. She's laughing out loud because she knows it's cold as hell up north, and you don't want to be living out of a car cold as hell. I was cold last night. I made it. I got to layer up a little bit better tonight. Around 40? How the hell is it 40 in Pittsburgh? I got to turn my car. Well, it's 37 in here. Okay, well, it's going to get down again. It went back up today. When the sun it will be in the 30s tonight. Yeah, it dropped down last night. Like, I think that's what caught me off guard a little bit too, because it was like in the 40s easy during the day, and then all of a sudden, like last night, it dropped down all the way like 20, like quick. So, like today, when the sun got up, it got back up into the 40s and 50s. So that's what you have to be tricky with too, especially when you're in this transition period of the seasons, okay? And when it's not fully cold yet and it's still a little bit warm during the day, that's what catches you off guard. And that's what you got to be mindful of. Now, I know like Uptown Window, she's one of the viewers that basically is still living in a conventional conforming lifestyle as far as in a house or apartment. Like many of my viewers and many people I've connected with, will be there. We will be in the 30s today. Okay, so North Carolina in the 30s. Now, Dana, I'm surprised about that because I would have thought it would have been a little bit warmer. But I guess if it gets down there, I mean, I guess that's not that bad. But yeah, North Carolina and South Carolina, in the winter, it gets cold there. From all the friends that I have, I mean, I know South Carolina stays a little bit warmer. But really, the bottom line is the best place to be in the winter is Florida. I mean, I don't think there's any way around that. If you want a certain 70-degree temperature, etc. But Uptown Window, like I was saying, she's one of the viewers, like many viewers I've connected with, that lives a conforming lifestyle like I did for, 36 years out of my life. I lived in a house and then I owned my own condo. And I started a journey of something inside my spirit wanting a more simple life and then transitioning into a car. So I believe that Uptown Window is thinking about it, but not sure yet. So, like I would say to anybody out there, again, as we touch on various things, and I'm touching right now on the nomad aspect of my life, is again, just simplify your life as much as possible, and you will come to realize that you can live with a lot less than you're used to. I'm closer to the mountains than the coast. It stays a little warmer. Yeah, if you're inland, there's no doubt about that, Dana, and anywhere you live, that's the common rule of thumb. Like, even like sometimes when I go to the coastal areas in New Jersey or upstate New York or whatever, if you go to Long Island, etc., is that on the coast you get that ocean breeze. It's the wind that kills you. It's that chill of the wind. That's what really cuts through you. As we say up north, I don't know if you get this saying down south. They say the hawk is out. When they say the hawk is out, that means that wind's about to hawk your ass. Okay, it's about to cut right through you, and you got to be mindful of that. When you're inland, you don't get that cold cutting wind from the coastline, so you have to be mindful of that as you position yourself. And life is about positioning yourself. Uptown Window, we saw that in Pittsburgh too. Yep. And yeah, no, I hear you. So I say I got you, no doubt. Yeah, so you have to be mindful of those things. And then the other things that we talked about healing tonight. We talking about a little bit about the nomad life, and I just want to talk about in general the mindset of pushing forward. Okay, the mindset of pushing forward is I am my inspiration, the God inside me, and whatever you want to believe or you don't want to believe, I'm not here to convert you. I'm sharing what I think. And every day the daily steps, consistency. You look it up. You have to be consistent in daily steps and getting closer, even on the weekends, to being where you want to be. Okay, very important. And not listen, like I said, I was so disappointed. When I was searching earlier today on YouTube and I was, looking on different, like, hey guys, we're back. We get kicked off a little bit. But we'll go for at least another 15 minutes. We're going to go with it strong at least. So when I was so disappointed, when I just heard this life coach rambling on. And I remember like when I watched the Kardashians and when Rob Kardashian had that life coach. And that life coach was telling Rob Kardashian a lot of different wise things to do with his life. But none of that matters until it matters to you. It doesn't matter. I'm working hard to dump my stuff and be free. I will be a nomad soon. Dana, you can do it. Dana, I believe in you. Dana, believe in yourself. And Dana, take small, daily, consistent steps. Throw it out. When in doubt, throw it out. There's a lot of pain involved, but you can do it. And we are our true selves when we are as free as possible. Like I always say, when you're free, you're you. When you're controlled, you're someone else. And many times a controllingness is not coming from another person. It's coming from the things that we own. Be very careful. Be very mindful. But a life coach or a pastor cannot get you to get it. Okay? And many people subscribe to that life coach or to that pastor that I need this person to make me better, and then they get manipulated, or they get let down, they get disillusioned, because then they see their pastor fail, Then they see their life coach fail. And the bottom line is they weren't in it for the right reason. You know, if you need someone else to get you where you need to be, it's not going to end good, because you know you'll come to the realization one day that only you can get you to where you need to be. And the only thing, amen to that. Thank you, Dana. Thank you. The only thing anyone can ever get you to do is say, look, you can do it, and it's you have to do it for yourself. No one else. Your parents can't do it for you. They can't. Your children can't do it for you. And let me tell you something. I mean, I've been in some relationships. Damn sure your lover can't do it for you. I mean, if anybody, you know, your lover will probably let you down a lot. You know, and your kid's gonna let you down a lot, and your parents gonna let you down a lot, and damn sure your pastor gonna let you down a lot, and you really gonna be pissed at your pastor because you don't fucking gave him how much donations, and you remember that shit. So, you know, be careful. And then you remember, like, you know what I mean, the guy on YouTube or the girl on YouTube that kept pumping you up, telling you about, you know, this is what you need to do. You know, and that's why I'm not trying to pump you up on anything. What I'm trying to pump you up on is yourself, okay? And that's it. That's it. Everyone will let you down, no doubt. No doubt. Everyone will let you down. But the key is, like I've talked about many times, if they let you down, it's your fault. Why is it your fault? Because you put them on a pedestal. And that's what I'm here to tell you, is that don't put anybody on a pedestal. You're responsible if you put somebody on a pedestal, not them. You are. Okay? Because you decide, you're the CEO of your life. You decide how much authority you give someone. Never forget that, all right? You run your life. Okay? And to some extent, you understand what I'm saying? I understand there's things in life, you know, that we have to do that sometimes we don't want to do, but you get what I'm saying. I mean, I don't need to baby you. You know, you're mature enough. I see how you're articulating your thoughts in the comments. I see, you know, I connect with you guys on a daily basis, and I have to speak to you as if, you know, you're mature. I mean, you can't, let me share with you this too, man. You can't talk to someone like a baby and expect them to act like an adult. Okay? Let me say that again. You can't talk to someone like a baby and expect them to act as an adult. I saw my mother do that with my sisters, and it doesn't help. It doesn't help. Okay? Compassion, yes, but speak to someone as if they're an adult, because when you do that, then they'll react like adult. When you speak to them like a baby, they're going to act very immature. Okay? People can sense what you think of them. And you should think highly of people. And then if they shouldn't be thought highly of, you should separate yourself. Goes back to the first thing I said when I started this video. The first step of healing is separating yourself from people you shouldn't be around. Very hard to do. Very hard to separate yourself from the material items that you're throwing away. I went through that when I sold my house. It was very hard. Live and learn, Uptown Window. Yes, that's right. No condemnation. No condemnation. Here's Dana. You will always be in my prayers. Thank you. I need prayers. Be safe. Good night, Sam. Positive energy to you always. Thank you, Dana, for the prayers. I received them, and I thank you for them. I believe in the power of prayer. Like I said, I was thinking about you all day. I believe in the power of thought and prayers. Thank you. Love and respect to you. My prayer for you tonight, I want you to hear this if you're still listening, is that you have a peaceful night's sleep and that you let go of any self-criticism, of any negative thought, of any insecurity. You let go of that thought. Do not hold on to that thought. If you wake up at midnight and you have a negative thought, let go of it and go back to sleep. God bless you. Go in peace. Bye, Dana. Yeah, Uptown Window showing you love too. Pittsburgh is coming in strong tonight. And so we push forward. Okay, we push forward. We breathe. We refocus our energy. We heal our souls, and we focus on the goal. The goal of our lives, the destiny of our lives, whether we live in a car or whether we live in a mansion. Okay, it's not about just that. What it's about is the decluttering of the spirit, the focusing of the mind, and the pushing forward. That mindset. That mindset is very important to get you where you need to be in life. Whether you sell real estate, whether you trade stocks, or whether you're a garbage man. The proper mindset is what you need. Humble mindset, not an over arrogant mindset, but a mindset that's not holding on to insecurities, that's not frozen in the mirror. That when you look past the mirror and you see an imperfection, when you see a roll, when you see an uneven breast, when you see an ass that doesn't look good, you know, when you see your schlong isn't the way you like it, whatever it is for you, and I'll say it. I want you to let go of that negative thought. And you say, you know what, I'm me. Okay? I'm me. I'm going to be me. And the people that are truly meant to be in my life, they're going to accept me as me. Okay? And we're going to ride this thing out and we're going to push each other to be better. But the people that you can never make happy, you will never make happy. Okay? There's certain people in life that no matter what you do, you will never make them happy. I'm here to tell you, no matter what you do, they won't be happy. So you have to separate yourself. Separate. Very important. Taking a drink. God bless. Stay focused on the prize. Stay focused on your inner voice, and you can do it. And things are good, things are positive, and we keep pushing forward. And we don't focus on the crowd, we don't focus on the audience, we focus on our inner voice. And we're willing to go through a season of healing. Don't rush through your season of healing. Like I say, you sell your house, you downsize, you get out of a relationship. You get out of a serious financial transaction that caused you financial loss. I have in the past. You separate yourself. You don't reinvest right away. You don't put your money right back to work. You don't get right back into a relationship. You don't go right back into a house. You take a season to heal. Very important. Very important that you take a step back in life to heal. Don't rush through life. Rushing leads to regret. Can't do that. It's okay to step back. As I look out into the yonder here, as I give you a little description of where I'm at, because I like to do that. I like to give you a variety of perspective that I'm looking at. I am looking at a home improvement store where there's some campers out. There's actually a couple travel trailers that we're spending the night, and there's a big rig in front of me. Now, I won't be spending the night here. I think I'll be moving on because I still got to hit the gym, and I want to take a shower and layer up. As I make this video, I know sometimes we have people all over the world in UK and stuff that join. It's 5:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, okay? And it's about 35 degrees in northern New Jersey. And things are good. Like I said, I had a positive week. I'm learning to just focus on forward thoughts, not backward thoughts. You can't hold on to the past. Even if it was yesterday, you can't think about what you didn't do good enough yesterday. All you have is this moment. This moment to do better, and then you have to have forward thoughts. Not yesterday thoughts. Yesterday will keep you in the cell. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to let go of the things you fucked up with yesterday. And you got to say, you know what? I can't change it. Whatever you can't change, you shouldn't spend another minute on. Your mind should only be focused on things you can control. We had a real good viewer. I was even thinking about him today. He had asked some real intriguing questions last night, like giving different scenarios about if you were in this situation or that situation, how would you react? And I really liked the questions because they were thought-provoking and it showed like he had an interesting mind. But my answer was basically that, because I thought about it for a minute. And I even thought about it today. That's how good of a scenario it was. But what I thought about is, again, you can never waste time on focusing on things you can't control. That's a trap. Your mind should only be focused on what you can control. And if you can't control it, just like a negative thought, you have to let that go. What would you do if you were in this situation? What would you do with this? What would you do with that? You can't live like that. You can't. You'll never live a happy life. What would you do if your loved one came back to life and you can treat them better and you can't live like that? Someone passed away and you wish you would have did X, Y, Z. You can't live in that cell. You can't live in that hell because you can't change it. I wish you could. Believe me, there's some shit in life I wish I could change too. No one's alone in that mindset, but in a healthy mindset, you have to realize you can't change it. You can't bring them back, and you can't change certain things that happen. You have to let it go. All right? And you can't spend a moment more thinking about what you would do. That's healing. Okay? That's how you heal. The ability to let go, that'll get you healed. When you hold on to too much pain, how can you heal? How can you heal if you hold on to pain? You can't. You're hurting yourself every moment. Every moment you replay the things that you said that you wish you didn't say, the times you were short with the loved one that's no longer here and you wish you weren't as impatient with them. How can you heal if you hold on to that thought? You can't heal. You're just continually hurting your soul. And there's no value in it. Now, if there was some type of great value in that, then I would say, yeah, go ahead and do it. But there's no value. You get more damaged, and what happens when you get more damaged, here's what happens, is you draw back from life even more. You become more of a recluse. You don't share your gifts. Share your gifts? You barely got enough fucking energy to wake up and to be able to look at yourself in the mirror. How the hell are you going to share the God-given gifts you have inside you if you're not healed? No way. Uptown Window. The beautiful about giving everything up as you did is that any direction you decide to take is a new adventure. That's true Uptown Window, and thank you for that comment. I appreciate all the comments, and that's part of this live stream. I want you to feel free to lovingly and respectfully share any comment, because it's also your time. It's time to connect and grow. And like I say, as a single person and as someone who has very much no family for the most part, this is also provides me a level of connection, of social connection, but the type I like, where it's not a heavy commitment. Anytime you want, you can leave the chat room. Anytime I want, I can finish it. So it fulfills the need of a connection, but yet it's not a heavy commitment. So to answer Uptown Window, and again, love and respect to Pittsburgh, beautiful bridges in that city, is what I would say is yes, Uptown Window, you're right. What I don't want to mislead you on, though, because I'm very big on not misleading people, is that after a few weeks of having that complete freedom, that can be overwhelming to some people, and that can actually have a negative effect. If an undisciplined mind has too much freedom, they will become self-destructive. They will always spend their freedom on drinking. They will spend their freedom on going places they shouldn't go, and anxiety will take over. The freedom is only a benefit if you have discipline and if you have healed yourself. Okay? And that's why you'll see many fucking RV channels and many nomad channels, they're fucking full of gossip and bullshit. And people driving around in their e-cargo van talking about other people and really not really doing anything productive. Their intro is about what they used to do in life. It's about the careers they used to have. That's great, but I want to know, where are you going? What's the next step in the life? What's the next purpose for your life? Where's your inspiration? Not just fucking what next campground are you going to. That's not what I'm about. Okay? I'm about not just living simply, but living rich and fulfilling the destiny and being inspired and being passionate about life and pushing others not to be me, but to be themselves. And that comes from first healing myself and then using my gifts, letting my light shine. Very powerful. Very powerful. Trend News, love and respect. Hey, bro, how are you doing, man? I'm doing great, man. Thanks for your comment today, man. And thanks for your comment the other night, man. I think you got a great mind, and I think you add a lot of value and perspective to the conversation. And I appreciate you, Trend News. Love and respect, man. Agree. Praise the Lord. Thank you, Trend News. Trend News, where are you checking in from? If you want to share, you don't have to share. Always feel free. Just give the area. You don't have to give the exact town. Much appreciated, bro. Nah, you earned it, man. Canada, man. So, love and respect to Canada. Canada is our northern neighbor, and I think they may have better healthcare than us too. I mean, let's be honest. I hate to say that, and I know some people get upset, but I want to share that possibly. What do you think about your healthcare, Trend News? I mean, you have an engaged social mind. I mean, even by your tag name, Trend News. To me, what that says to me is that you're up on current events, and that matters to you. It matters to you. I mean, I think if you have Trend News, I think that that. So I'm just curious what your take is on the healthcare system in Canada. And also, what I want to share with you is I was talking to a great viewer via the comments today in one of my videos. There was another viewer from Canada that reached out to me, Van Dwelling Life, and she lives full time out of her I think she has a travel trailer, out of her travel trailer in Canada. And I said, man, it was cold last night in Jersey. It must have been cold for you. So she was saying they were bundled up and stuff. But I have connected with a few people from Canada, man. So there's people in Canada out there living a full-time nomad life. So love and respect to them. Like, you think it gets cold in New York, New Jersey, and Pittsburgh, again, Uptown Window, respect to Pittsburgh. I mean, we got people even more north than us. So Trend News, as you answer that, I'm sure you're articulating your thought. Take your time, brother. Don't let anyone rush you. Also, give the temperature check on what it is in Canada. Here's Trend News on the healthcare system. Very interested in his perspective. It's good, nothing is perfect. Yes, that's correct. See, I like he has a good perspective. He's balanced mind. But I don't if something happens. It's good, nothing is perfect, agree, but I don't if something happens. Do I have to wait? Well, I have a great doctor from Florida. Oh, he actually has a doctor from Florida. That's interesting. Well, good comment. I appreciate you sharing. And he's basically being fair. He believes it's good, and he's saying nothing is perfect, and he's giving perspective. So I think that's a fair person. And you can't ask anything else from that. Nothing's perfect. That's right. I agree with that. That's fair. What's the temperature out in Canada right now, brother? I'm going to check my temperature again. It's 6 o'clock now, Eastern Standard Time in the U.S., and it's 37 degrees in northern New Jersey, just so you know. Yeah, man, time flies. What is today already? Is today the 11th again? Let me see. Today is November 11th. Yeah, November 11th, 2017. I mean, the year's almost over. I mean, that's the other thing, too. I know there's certain people that check on in this channel for inspiration for their own life. You know, as far as a lot of people for downsizing, you know, however they're going to define their life, it's centered around sometimes downsizing. What I want to share with you is time's passing. I mean, we almost have another year in the books. Before you know it, you blink your eyes, it could be 2018. This time last year is when I set out on my journey to really simplify my life. I mean, just understand that time is ticking, okay? Before you know it, you know, that ball is going to drop January 1st, and you're going to hear all the people get all out the bullshit. Oh, it's my New Year's resolution to do this, that, and the other. And no disrespect to them, but your New Year's resolution should be right now. You know what I mean? And even if your goal is to downsize, you should have this on either your TV, if you have a smart TV, or you should put it on your phone tablet, put that on, and you should just start throwing shit out. Get a plastic black garbage bag and just throw shit out, if that's your goal. If it's not your goal, then just do you. But my message is always the time is now. The time is now. We talked about a little bit about that last night. Action, now. Don't wait for the perfect time. Very important. Very important. Love and respect. And we go forward. Now, my time for the next few days is definitely also going to be focused around. I'm going to spend some time recharging my batteries. See, that's important to me. So, you know, I do, you know, four days on site. You know, I do take care of my work business. And then after that, you know, what I need to do is before I, you know, connect with anybody as far as friends or family members, as far as like going out or doing anything, you know, tomorrow, when I start my day, it's my first day, like my first official day off of the week as far as for my work obligations. Let's read Trend News, checking in from Canada. It's 26 degrees, so it's cold. Yeah, it was 25 last year. Fahrenheit, bro. I hear that. Not bad, a little cool. Yeah, see, you got that tough skin too. Now, Trend News, are you living full-time out of your car? Are you in a house or an apartment? But, what I do tomorrow, what I do on my first day off is I do self-care. What I used to do on my immature days, I live in a house. Okay, respect to you, man. Respect to that. That's cool. What I do on my first day off from work is I spend time in self-care, in repairing myself, in healing. Because after all week of working or whatever you do, and if you're in a real estate business, like Uptown Window, etc., and if you're doing some type of real estate transaction in Pittsburgh, check out Uptown Window. I'm not, you know, I believe she's in that industry. But what I would tell you is that you need time to heal. So what your first day off of work should not be, let me get together with friends and family and have a no doubt. And you know what I mean, do something. I used to, let me just share my life, because it gets crappy when I start to give a preach and sermon. I don't like people. What I used to do on my first day off is, my example, my mom would say, hey, can you come over? Let's do XYZ. And I would be led a little bit by my emotions. I said, sure, Ma, I'll come over or whatever. And then I would go over to my mother's house, and then we would start doing something. It would lead to something else, and it's a whole day. And then I would start to get resentful. Why would I get resentful? Because I didn't spend enough time in self-care. I didn't spend enough time healing myself. So how I started this live feed tonight was talking about healing. Healing is not just you got out of a bad relationship, you got out of a bad financial transaction, you got out of a bad, you know, physical pain or whatever. Healing is, you know, you just spent several days working and using your energy to, in whatever manner of service you do to this world, whatever type of productivity that you output. You need time to heal for yourself, to regain your perspective. You know, Trend News, while I saluted him, he gave fair perspective. And the other night when we were talking heavy politics, I saw that he had a fair mind. You want to see an unfair mind? An unfair mind is someone who doesn't take enough time to heal themselves. Okay? An unfair mind is someone who doesn't take enough time for themselves and heal themselves. They go from one thing to another, to another, to another. And their energy is burnt up. Their mind is fried. Their mind hasn't healed. And they hear one thing and they go right over the edge. They go to the extreme place because they don't have any more capacity left on their mind. They haven't healed. Your first day off of work should not even be spent, if you can help it, you know, with family or friends. That's why I tell my mom or whoever, unless it's an emergency, I said, look, I need a certain amount of time on my first day off to spend with myself. I have to go for my walks. I have to do a good day in the gym. You know, sometimes I like to research stuff on YouTube. Because, certainly you do those things like I do it today, like when I get off of work. But it's a different thing when you spend 8-10 hours working and then you unwind where you look at YouTube or you go to a gym versus you wake up and the whole day is yours to heal. There's a different cycle to that. And that full day off, some people that are in the faith world, they know about the Sabbath. The Sabbath is basically whether you're Jewish or Christian or whatever you believe. It's a day that was dedicated off. Why was it dedicated off? There was many debate about that. Jesus said the day was off so in benefit of you, the person, so that it's basically so you can heal. It's a day of healing. What day it decides to be and what you do with it is your business. I mean, people get religiously fanatic about what day and what they do. I mean, I work with Orthodox Jewish people that they wouldn't even turn a light switch on a Saturday. Then I met on my journey extreme Christian Seventh-day Adventists that, I mean, they were so strict. They spent all their energy debating on what day is the Sabbath. So for me, that's two different faiths. For me, I said I'll think for myself and I'll interpret the scriptures for myself, okay? And how I interpret it based on my faith and my belief is it's a day, whatever day you choose and however you choose to spend it, but it's a day for self-healing. Why, Sam? Why is it? Because when you heal yourself, you heal the God inside you, okay? You heal the spirit inside you. And when you're fully healed, you're in tune with God. When you're fucking burned at both edges, you fucking hate everybody. You hate everybody, including your pastor, okay? Trend news coming in hot. I had a couple of good friends back in 1997, sold their house, bought a fifth wheel, okay, and traveled to the U.S. and Canada for 5 years, okay? See, now the fifth wheel, I'm going to read your other comment too, because I see you came in with 2 comments. Thank you, Trend News. I appreciate the comments. The fifth wheel is too big for me. And that's probably one of the biggest travel trailers. It is the biggest travel trailer pretty much you could pull. And you need a heavy duty pickup or something of that nature to pull it. Now, if you have a family, then, well, and like you were kind of saying you have family, then it would make sense. Now, I watched Trend News. There was a guy on YouTube called Just in a Van, and it was a single guy from Canada. He had a blue, van. I think it was a Volkswagen van that I think he only did for like 6 months, and then he quit YouTube. That he traveled from Canada down to Florida for the winter, and he did like a one-time shot. But a fifth wheel is cool if you have a family, but too big for me as a single person, but I respect that. Okay, and here's his other comment. They had to sell their fifth wheel. That's what usually happens because of his health. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I don't wish that on anyone. I know you would like him. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. He passed away a few years ago. Well, I'm going to read your other message too because I see it, but I want to digest each message and I want to spend time on it. So, another powerful lesson, right? One is I thank God that your friend was able to actually fulfill one of his visions for his life, which was to travel for his family. So praise the Lord for that, or whatever you want to believe. I know, whatever you want to believe, but I want to say that. And 2 is time. You think you're not going to pass away. You think the day is never going to come when somebody else is going to pass. You have to live life with urgency. Not in rushing, but with urgency. I thank God that guy was able to do what he wanted to do for a period of time. I can't tell you how many people I know that they live with no urgency, and they're one of these people like on their deathbed or when they get older and they don't have the physical capability to do things. They say, man, I wish I would have done X, Y, and Z. Urgency, not irresponsibility. Urgency, big difference. All right. There were only 2, but it was a retirement thing. Yeah, retirement has give and take because retirement, how previous generations viewed retirement was, you wait till you're 65 or 67, and then you retire. Truth be told, when you're 65, 67, your body is really decaying because average life expectancy is approximately 78 years old. So you have about 10 more years left in your life, and you can't do the things you once could. And you need to spend, I would say the last 5 years of your life. Traveling is very tough on the body. I'm middle age. I'm 37. I live full-time out of my car. And I can tell you that traveling takes a toll on your body. And even last night, 25 degrees living in a car. I mean, I can do it. I'm in good health. But let me tell you, there's no way I would be 68 or something doing that. Not in this climate. So that limits. It doesn't mean you can't do it, but it limits what you can do. So what does that mean? Does that mean you should retire at 37? No, because I'm not one of those people that preach irresponsibility. But I preach simplicity And I preach seizing the moment. I preach urgency. And I preach that maybe you can't go travel the whole country, but maybe you could, live out of your car or live in a small house and travel more, okay? And do more of what you want, okay? And like I said, there's tremendous value in just traveling in the state you're in just traveling around Pittsburgh and just going maybe from Pittsburgh to Chicago one long weekend, or Pittsburgh to Baltimore, whether traveling to North Carolina, South Carolina, whether traveling to Ontario to Montreal, etc., etc. Just different places within your same state or country can be tremendously rewarding. So it doesn't have to be you retire, you quit your job, and then you travel the world. It doesn't have to be that. You define it. You define your life. Never forget that. Okay? Hey, buddy, you're still a kid. I am still young. Yeah, I am still, and that's why I want to honestly share my thing. I respect that. Trend News also said he was a Christian, so is now with the Lord. Okay, God bless. Good for you and doing what you want. Yes, and I want to be very clear, because I always try to be fair to people who aren't Christian. Or just because you say you're a Christian doesn't mean anything. Now, certainly, if this was a good man or woman, then the Lord is with them. But I know many people that call themselves Christians or call themselves Muslims or call themselves atheists, and they're assholes. I don't really care. I mean, I believe in Jesus. I state that boldly, and I believe in God. But I respect everyone else, even people that don't believe in anything. And I do feel somewhat, comforted when I connect with people that have similar beliefs. But I don't feel just because you label you're something, you are something. You are what you are. And how you treat each other, how you treat yourself. How you treat yourself sets the whole standard. Because actually, the biggest assholes I met, whether Christian, Jewish, atheist, Muslim, doesn't matter. It could be any faith or no faith, were people that were too hard on themselves. And being that they were too hard on themselves, they were too hard on others. And that's unhealthy. The first sign of someone is, are they fully healed? That was the theme of tonight. Is not only healing yourself, but you should discern if you're dealing with a healed person. Now, we're all a little broken, so I want to be fair. But if you're dealing with an unhealed person, you've got to be very careful. Because like you've read and like hurt people, okay? Hurt people hurt people. A healed soul heals others. You got to be very careful with the people you deal with in life, because they affect your life quality. Seriously do. And you got to be very careful. Trend News, man. Great comments, brother. Love and respect you. I'm very glad we connected, man. Thank you. And thank you for everybody who's been adding comments. Thank you for your time. I want you to know that, it means a lot to me. I don't care if it sounds silly. Certainly, like I say, I meet the 10% of people online and through YouTube that are disrespectful and a little bit mean. And sometimes people read me the wrong way. And that's okay. That's part of life. I accept that. But again, I just want to acknowledge that for me, in my journey, YouTube has been a blessing. It has. The first step it was a blessing was when I started to, one is just for a spiritual journey and for learning. When I was starting my career, and when YouTube just really started, I used to search tutorials on like engineering formulas and electrical calculations. And I learned so much from YouTube, because I'm not the type of person that can sit in the classroom for 45 minutes and listen to somebody talk and then raise my hand. I hate that. I fucking go nuts. I like to be able to look at a video, stop it, and go to any point back and forth and re-listen to it at my convenience. And tutorials are a tremendous learning tool and resource that can be found on YouTube for any job, okay? Whether you're in real estate, whether you're in engineering, whether you're in whatever, okay? I want to say that. Uptown Window, gotta run, but we'll watch this later and enjoy it as always. Uptown Window, I enjoyed you as always, and thank you, and God bless you in Pittsburgh. Have a beautiful, peaceful night, and we'll connect on another day. Thank you. I appreciate you. I do. And tutorials are a blessing. And I want to encourage you that, like I said before this, I watched a tutorial on how to be a better YouTuber, because, I certainly don't want to orchestrate myself, but I always do look at ways, what ways can I improve, okay? Because and I was very disappointed on what I found, I got to be honest with you, because all I found was life coaches talking about bullshit, and I wasn't impressed. But either way, I want to acknowledge that YouTube is a good resource for tutorials. And then also, YouTube, like you've known, encouraged me that living out of a car is possible and living a simplistic life is possible. And it also showed me that YouTube is no different than society. There's a lot of people out there that are pandering, that are selling you something. Most people are selling you something. And everyone has a motive to keep you engaged. And let's be honest. Let's not, So you should only, and that's why I say you should have the freedom to come and go as you please in this place or any place else. It's not about, oh, tune into the next episode. Because to be honest with you, even though I would love to stay connected and love to have 1 million followers, I would rather everyone leave and go find themselves and whatever. I mean, that's why, like I said, I think it's valuable that, if you do YouTube or you do something for a full-time job, I'm not against it because people bless me with it. But you have to be very mindful that you still have a full-time job if you become a nomad, like I say. Because anytime that you do something for your full-time income and you depend on the attention of others, you can become a manipulative person. And that's why there's so much hate out there, especially in the nomad world. That's why people hate Nomadic Fanatic. They feel like that guy manipulated them and they swindled them. I don't feel like that way, just like I don't feel like going to pest it, because at the end of the day, I think for myself. At the end of the day, if I want to stop watching somebody, I just stop watching them. I've learned that in life too. Again, we always talk about not putting anybody on a pedestal, but I'm just sharing my thoughts on different things. But I'm very encouraged. I'm very thankful. I'm very appreciative of everything, and we push forward, and we go from there. Excuse the window got a little bit clearer. Time check. It's 6:16 in Eastern Standard Time, 36 degrees in New Jersey. I'll let this run a little bit longer. Now, normally I try to do about 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Daily with the live streams, and then I do videos based on my inspiration and what's on my spirit. And it's just good to connect, man. It's good for me, and I enjoy it. Like when I'm like after I get out of here, and I go to the gym and I take a shower and I layer up. Like tonight when I lay down in the back of my Renegade and I put my window covers on, I'll put my earbuds on and I'll watch YouTube, whether it's different people live or whether it's some type of whatever, some type of channel that inspires me or that soothes me. I listen to that, and that's important for you to have something to recreation, something live and something that speaks to your soul, and all that's good things. And the other thing too, as I'm speaking, the other thing I'm always mindful of is that some people are just watching you, and they'll never engage with you. You'll never know who they are. When you're in a store or when you're in your office and when you're talking to somebody else, you could be talking to your manager, and there's 2 people in 3 cubicles down that are listening to every word you say. And it's so important that you don't focus on the crowd. Do not focus on who's listening to you and who's watching you, because then you'll become a person that you pick your words so carefully that you have to filter yourself, but you have to be authentic, okay? And you have to not focus on the crowd. I mean, the crowd will get you thinking like everyone else, and will get you to lose your authenticity, and it will get you to tap dance. You don't want to do that, all right? As just a perspective look over, I look now, we got some people going in and out of stores still. It's a Saturday night as I make this video, and people are still rushing in and out of supermarkets. I went to the supermarket tonight to get some salad and tofu and stuff, and it was jam-packed, man. I don't miss that, you know what I mean? Having a house and going in the supermarket on a Saturday or Sunday, everybody's off from work, fucking lines are packed. Don't miss that. I like living life, man. Express aisle. So I do self-checkout too. I don't actually like human interaction, even with like not like anything like antisocial, but like even like at the checkout when I go to different stores, I like to use the self-checkout. And I'm definitely into technology. I mean, I use like Samsung Pay or whatever, and I don't use cash and things like that. I use an app at the Starbucks. I don't like I don't like waiting. Some people, even if the self-checkout is fully clear, they'll go through the regular line and wait. Some people fight technology. Even when I'm at McDonald's to get the Diet Coke, like there's one by where I'm at, that's the fully modernized one, where it's like, you know what I mean? It's the McDonald's, I don't know if you've seen them, that you go to it and you place the order on a big screen plasma, you don't actually talk to a human. Some people, like especially older people, but not always, but a lot of times older people will come into McDonald's and they say, oh, we can't use the regular register, we have to use the touchscreen, and they leave. They say this is bullshit. And they go, oh, well, we're trying to, and then they say, well, we're not using it because we're trying to keep humans employed. If we use it, then people won't be employed. They said the same thing with Easy Pass. Now I don't know what part of the world you may be watching from or country, but in the New York, New Jersey area, and all up and down the East Coast, there's Easy Pass. People used to say that thing about toll booth collectors, that if we use Easy Pass, no matter what, change is constant. So it's going to happen. And it's not because of minimum wage debate or what anything. It's because we're in a technology era. And we will continue to advance as society. You can't fight that. So adapt, okay? Adapt. And learn how to do something by fucking up. Place that order on the big screen. Figure it out. You'll figure it out. I mean, you figure out how to go live. You figure out that. My random thoughts sometimes when I'm in society, and I see, because adaptation and change, like you hear me talk about often, is key. It's key to your happiness and growth. It's people that fight change, they're fucking miserable. And they spend, like I used to, when I spent time like stuff with my father, different older people, and I go to their house, they spend the whole time I'm with them talking about how society's crappy because it's changing. Society always changes. And it never stays the same. And it's the person who always wants to live in the past that they're never happy. Time is fleeting. Meaning that time is the river. Time flows. You can't go backwards. Let it flow. Let it flow. All right? Big time. And drink your water, please. Stay healthy out there, man. Life's no fun no matter how much you are if you're not healthy. So stay healthy. Trend news. Indianapolis coach Andrew Luck. Well, I used to watch football a lot. Let's see what that's about. Seeks treatment in Europe on throwing his shoulder. Looks like he can't afford health care. Oh, Trend news coming in with good trend news. One is, Trend news, thank you for the comment. So Andrew Luck was a quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts football. So I guess they're playing in Europe. See, yeah, I know they used to start to do the games in Europe and stuff. I didn't really like that because I thought it just seemed like odd, going overseas to play a game. It wasn't, because it's not an international league. Like if it was an international league, it'd be totally understandable. But it's an American league going over to international seas to play a game. Now I get it, like this, they're trying to connect, but it seems odd. I mean, because it's not like with Canada, right? In the NBA, there's Canadian teams. So Canada is part of the league. So sometimes the All-Star game is in Canada. That makes total sense because there's teams in Canada, but there's no teams in England. So it's or in the UK or where they go. So that's weird. Yeah, well, I'll tell you one thing. He said he can't afford healthcare. Of course, he's making a joke. Good joke, Trend News. But yeah, he could definitely afford healthcare. I mean, Andrew Luck, man. I mean, he's one of the premier. He signed a multi-million-dollar contract. So, and I also had a discussion about that too with a co-worker today or a friend, and they were talking about highly paid athletes. But never forget that the multi-billionaire athletes, they're like the 1% of their sport. Just like there's a 1% of society, there's 1% Bill Gates, there's 1% Donald Trumps or whatever. There's the 1% sports guys. But the average sports player has a 2 to 3 year career, and he may have made a couple millions, but he spent his whole life learning a trade of sport, and then after that, he's probably going to be a high school football coach or something. And so don't look at them like, they haven't made. There's only 1% of professional sports people that truly are these multi-billionaires and millionaires. So, I hear so many times people get mad at sports players like they're overpaid athletes. They're not. Maybe you're talking about the 1%, but guess who's also overpaid? Bill Gates, Donald Trump, Mark Zuckerberg. They're the 1%. They're overpaid techie guys or overpaid real estate guys. It's the 1%. But the 99% of professional sports players, or those who once were, if you average out, they maybe made a couple million out of their whole career, but that's it. The average person, if you make $50,000, $100,000 a year, or whatever, over the course of your career, you'll make a couple million. So it's all relative, right? And so be fair in your evaluation, all right? And don't forget, too, the younger kids. I mean, 20 to 30-year-old millionaires, I mean, come on. And if that money doesn't go to them, it's going to the owners. It's going to the Donald Trumps. It's going to those are the people that own basketball teams. Is the elites, the 1%. And nothing wrong with that. But I always want you to understand that if it doesn't go to the players, then who's it going to? The other 1%. So, you have to have somewhat of structure, and you have to have that money divided somewhat, that people who build equity into professional sports teams are the professionals. So nobody wants to see, Bill Gates and whoever that guy, whoever owns the Clippers, that guy, and who's that, Mark Cuban. Nobody wants to see them play basketball. You want to see the professionals play basketball. I don't care, so it doesn't matter if you're an owner. You're not the people that puts asses in the seats. You're not the people that bring revenue to that thing. You're one part of it. You should be rewarded, but also the players should too. And I believe they should pay professional athletes. college athletes, okay? And damn sure, if you're 18, you should be able to join any professional league. If you're 18, you can join the Army, you should be able to. Excuse me, you know we go in and out. Let's all love. All right, back to trend news. Canada is the little brother of the great USA. I love America, and I love Canada. I love Canada. Trend news, and I don't even like to say like I wouldn't like to say that Canada is the little brother. I think that has a negative connotation. I would just like to say that we're brothers and we're sisters, that we're family. I do believe in, like, obviously we're all individual countries and we have individual ways, but I believe in a unified global world. I do. I mean, we're connected. We're more interconnected than ever. In these live chats, we have people from the UK, people from Canada, people from Mexico, people from the Middle East, everywhere. I mean, we are humanity. Humanity. And I don't like sometimes, like, when I hear the arrogance of we're the greatest nation or this and that. We are a great nation. We should be very proud of that. We should be very, we should show that. But you show that by not putting yourself above anyone, okay? It's a balance. And I like to include everyone, including people in Afghanistan, including people in Canada. I mean, I believe in humanity. Period. Okay? Now, certainly we have different belief systems, and we have, like we were talking about, we have different healthcare systems, et cetera, et cetera. So we can all learn from each other, and we're all going to, at the end of the day, just like people, we're all going to be a little bit different. So we shouldn't be competing with one another, but we all need one another. I mean, it's never going to be 100% perfect. I don't want to give you a we are the world speech. I mean, I'll be bullshitting you. There's always going to be bullshit in the world. So, but I guess you get what I'm saying. I just want to show respect. That's what I want to show. So, Canada, love and respect to you, Trend News. Thank you for the comments, because I enjoy the comments. I mean, obviously, like I share, I got a certain message that I wanted to share that I pretty much knocked out in the first half hour, and then I do a freestyle of different things. But for me, this interconnection and reading positive comments or reading different questions and responding to, I like that. So to me, I like the comments. I like to engage, because certainly I respond to the comments like on my videos, but there's nothing like the live feed and live chat with you guys. That's the best, because that's authenticity. There's nothing scripted, and I enjoy that. And I've met a lot of positive people through that. So that's a good thing. And so thank you for the comments, because I know too, it's scared sometimes to write a comment. I mean, once in a while somebody writes some crazy stuff. It only happens maybe once in a blue moon. Just throw that. But just to ask a question or just to put yourself out there, could be a little bit scary. But I want to encourage you. It's a safe environment, and I don't set a tone of disrespect. And if I see that something gets disrespectful, then it gets cut off. You know what I mean? Because that's part of anytime you create an environment, whether you're a manager at a job, whether you're a president, whether you're whatever, whether you're the head of whether you're a household, whether you're a mother or father, where you set a tone for your house, you should be setting an environment that's safe. Okay? A job of a leader is to set a safe environment for healthy dialogue. Okay? Not belittling people, and not disrespecting. At the same time, not pandering. You can't, you should have the right to disagree and to debate. You got to have honest conversation. You can't have growth without that. But, you have to have a healthy environment. When I was a kid, I would visit some of my friends. And it's like, as soon as you walk into some of your friend's house, even as a kid, even as a 12-year-old kid, I could sense when I was entering a house of contention. I would visit a friend, and whether I would go over there for a sleepover or just going over there to have fun, play in the backyard. And there's different houses that you go into, and as soon as you go into them, you feel an environment of contention, of just like disagreement, of disharmony. And then you go in I went in some of my friend's house, and you just feel beauty. You feel safe, you feel peace, there's harmony, and it's not perfect, nothing is perfect, but you feel it. And feeling that different environment is usually a reflection of the person who's creating it. And, Jaron Crawford, I want to say him, a great friend of mine. I remember going to his house. I always felt safe and loved. Frank Powell, just different people I just want to share, just came to my mind. I want to say, it's different people in my life that, their family, one is their environment in their house was healthy. Nothing is perfect, okay? So I don't want to put anybody on pedestal, because, everybody has shit in their life. But that matters, all right? And especially your dwelling. There's a scripture that says it's better to eat a crumb by yourself than be in a house with feasting and conflict. You know, for many years, my mom, there was so much contention with my sisters in the household. She would go in her car and she would park in front of McDonald's and eat. And I lived on my own at that time. I said, Mom, why are you going to do that? She goes, Sam, I just want peace. And I'd rather eat by myself in my car in front of McDonald's than staying in a house with argument. And that's powerful. Okay? That's powerful. And having a healthy environment to recharge yourself, to heal, that's crucial. Main theme tonight that we talked about very early on was healing. How do you heal? By stepping back from what's hurting you and taking time to heal. Separating yourself. Separating yourself from that unhealthy house, that unhealthy contentious argument spirit, everyone nipping at each other, going in your car, going wherever, going by yourself, spending your own time, and being in peace. That promotes healing. You feel yourself begin to heal, and you need that. You need that to push forward. You need separation. Very important. Very important. It's 6:30, a little time check and perspective. I'll give you the temperature update. I'm getting ready to hit Planet Fitness soon, but I'm staying on probably for another half hour. How I like to do it is try to do 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Time U.S. My live streams. Consistency. I'm trying to build consistency into it. I think that's wisdom, and I know it's wisdom. And that's the hard part about life, is being consistent, because but structuring yourself, structuring your day is wisdom. All right. 6:30 p.m. U.S. time, 35 degrees in New Jersey, USA. Canada Trend News is a great, healthy mind, got good perspective. I like his comments. We have Pittsburgh tonight. We had Dana from North Carolina. JPM Lawn Care is a great viewer. I don't think she's in tonight, but I always miss her when she's not here. It's Miss Kimberly, was here earlier from Texas. Great viewer. Beautiful young girl. And of course, Sarah Mitchell wasn't here tonight, but always she's a regular viewer from the West Coast. A lot of great regular viewers that have been very inspirational to me. And connection and sharing your journey, it inspires other people. Because, well, like I said, we're all humanity. You know, that's all right. We got cut off, but you know, I keep going. You get knocked down, you get back up again. That's what I'm talking about. So, humanity, man. You know, and that's why it's important to share your journey, because we're all human. We all go through similar things. Of course, there's always going to be cultural differences and different mindsets. Dana, I'm back. Oh, you have to learn to say no to people. That's right. If it hurts your soul, don't do it. I agree with that. Your soul has a divine navigation system. I mean, you think your phone has navigation? Your soul does. I remember being in CCD class. Those who don't know CCD, it's basically like it's like a schooling, like when you're in a Catholic faith. It's like a Sunday school, basically, okay? And you go through that to basically about the age of 14 or something like that. And I remember one guy, and I was friends with this guy. Well, we used to watch porn and stuff, like we were like, oh, look, we can see titties. That's what we used to do, like when we go to his house. That was when the internet first started. And he was a little bit of a freak as far as, like, you know, what he would like to watch. I was like, bro, you're going too far, like, you know, watching crazy stuff. But I remember him asking the CCD teacher. He goes, well, what if, you know, he wanted to watch porn and wanted to do this, and then he started asking all these sex questions. And I remember the CCD teacher told him, well, you know, what he asked the CCD teacher was, if I didn't know the Bible, or if I didn't know any spiritual teaching, is it wrong to have, like, wild orgies, etc., etc.? And then his answer was basically, well, if you don't know any better, of course, you know, no one can blame you, but, you know, everyone has basically the scriptures, or everyone has a navigational system in their soul. You know when something's right or something's wrong. That being said, we all fuck up, myself included. That being said, you know what I mean, you can't be unrealistic. Like, I mean, sex and those things are part of human nature. So you got to be careful when you get into religious conversations. You understand what I'm saying? I learned that. But what I'm trying to share with you is, going back to what Dana was saying, which is wisdom, is that your soul has a navigation system. But to hear your soul, you have to be healed. Okay? Because you want to talk about religious fanatic? That's an unhealed soul. and then their navigation system is all fucked up. Take you down the wrong street, okay? You ever get lost based on your navigation system? And you get fucking pissed. How the fuck can my navigation system be wrong? It happens. It happens. Your phone needs to be rebooted. And when you're dealing with a religious nut that, you know what I mean, is like too extreme, that person's soul isn't healed. You understand what I'm saying? And they can't lead you in the right direction. So, being healed yourself and also recognizing if the person you're building with, are they healed? That's key. Because if someone's not healed, they can't lead you in the right direction. How can the blind lead the blind? They can't. You understand what I'm saying? They'll both go into a ditch, and then they're both fucked. Be careful, all right? Love and respect. Yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit warmer tonight. That's what I'm feeling. I'm still going to layer up. Listen to your gut. Yeah, I'm not mad at that. Dana's in the house. It will never fail you. God speaks to all of us. I agree with that. And you just have to be still. Yeah, you have to be still. And you have to be healed. You have to be healed. If you're not healed, in my opinion, if you're not healed, you're not going to hear God or whatever you want to call it. Even if you're atheist, you're not going to hear your gut. You do what you want to do. But you're going to hear your emotions. You're going to hear your emotions if you're not healed. And your emotions will take you down the wrong road. They'll have you falling for a guilt trip. They'll have you being overly compassionate, overly, tail wagging the dog. That's what happens. And that's what happens when you don't have enough self-confidence. Why don't you have enough self-confidence? Because you haven't healed enough. An unhealed soul is basically trying to prove that they're healed. And then they do things to make other people happy. And people can sense that. And that's when you get manipulated. A manipulator preys on the weak. That's what I said about whether it's your pastor or nomadic fanatic. A lot of times, like, people get mad at them. Why do they get mad at them? Because they know the weak. A predator preys on the weak. You have to be healed. Or else you're going to hear your emotions, not God. You know how many fucking times, like I heard in the church game, somebody told me like God was talking to him? God wasn't talking to him. Their emotions were talking to him. How do I know? Because years later, their lives went down in destruction. Were they wrong because their life went down in destruction? No, because we all have different things that happen to us. But you could tell. You could tell when somebody was full of bullshit and they were full of emotions, not self-control. What's the fruits of the Spirit? Self-control. You don't have any control over your emotions. You don't have the Spirit of God. All right? If you want to believe in faith. Because that's what the book of Galatians said. What are the fruits of the Spirit? Self-control, love, endurance, etc., etc. And discipline, self-discipline. All right, we got knocked off, but we're back. What's the fruits of the Spirit? Self-discipline, self-control, a sound mind. If you believe in God, God didn't give us a spirit of fear, but a spirit of self-discipline, self-control, and a sound mind. If you have too much anxiety, if you have too much worry, you're being led by your emotions, not by God. All right? Gut feeling saved my life. Well, Dana, share your testimony. Many times while I was standing in the middle of the highway directing traffic. Yeah. Now, anybody who joined late, Dana used to direct traffic for many years. And traffic director, I mean, you're dealing with a lot of different things, a lot of different energy in an intersection that you have to direct that energy. So, and like we talked about, part of healing is once you've stepped back from chaos and you've repaired yourself, is then you have to learn how to direct energy. You have to tell your energy where to go and what to do. Anxiety is unfocused energy. That's what it is. You want to do something, but you don't know where to start. A healed soul is a disciplined mind with focused energy. We're going here. This is what we're doing next. Anxiety, I got all this to do. I don't know what to do next. Big difference. Okay? Big difference. And thank you for sharing, Dana. Yeah, directing traffic can be very overwhelming. That's right. Love and respect, man. We're gonna have a positive week. I'm looking forward to a few days off myself and repairing myself and healing. And of course, the cold weather doesn't get me too inspired, but I have to be thankful because I am blessed, and I know many people, still struggling. Different people struggle to try to find a good job. So you have to be thankful for a good job, and you have to, and it's not easy to find. Okay, and that's why, I don't promote just like uprooting your job and just traveling until you've figured out another sustainable source of income. Because sometimes even in a good economy like this, you see, well, oh, there's so many jobs online, but let me tell you something. You apply for that job and you don't get a call back, and you realize, well, it's not that easy to get a job, okay? And you have to be in control. That's right. Self-control is godliness, but we all fail, myself included. Because the people on the highway sure as hell aren't. No, they're not. Oh, why aren't the people on the highway on control? Because people who are driving are thinking about all their life burdens. I mean, never forget that too. Like, that really came to me one day. Is that, I was wondering why people, were doing this like certain crazy shit, and then I started to have a vision of that when everybody who's walking around, whether they're walking around in Home Depot, whether they're walking around in the supermarket, why are they in a frenzy and why aren't they paying attention? It's not really just their phones or something they're looking at. It's they have all the burdens of life on their mind. And all those different burdens is causing them to have unfocused energy. They aren't healed. They have too much. Okay? Their mind is unhealed. It's actually going through pain. And you're dealing with people, in society, driving behind the road. I mean, car accidents, huge amount of death tolls. I mean, obviously you've seen that, Dana. I mean, I think car accidents are one of the top killers. I mean, forget terrorist attacks and mass shootings. Car accidents, oh. And if you live full-time out of your car, you got to be very mindful of that. Be very careful. Drive very defensive. I think car driving is very underrated. People don't realize the safety. I mean, I've been in a couple car accidents, man. I'm telling you something. Before you know it, your life can change. And so just be mindful when you're driving. Drive defensive. And what I'll say too is make sure you leave enough space in between the person in front of you. Do not ride up someone's butt. And if someone is riding up your butt and you look in your rearview mirror, don't fucking try to outsmart them and just fucking pull over and let them pass. It ain't worth it. Even if they're driving like a fucking asshole and you're in the middle lane and you shouldn't have to get over, pull over anyway. Let them fucking pass. Because what I said earlier, rushing leads to regret. And if, God forbid, you're rushing because someone else is riding your ass and you get in an accident, you'll resent them the rest of your life. Because you didn't really want to go that fast, just somebody else was on your ass. Pull over to the side. Let them pass you. All right? You don't need to rush. Very important. Woo, baby. We're going forward. I feel good. I feel good letting go of every negative thought. And that's what I want you to do. I want you to push forward in life. I want you to be healed. And I want you to be a light out there that heals others. Living out of your car, live a simple life, throwing shit out this weekend, getting focused, getting closer to your dreams. That's what it's about. Not watching gossip shit. All right? Not watching gossip channels. I mean, I can't believe on YouTube. I can't believe it. But there's whole channels dedicated to tearing other people down. I mean, damn, you talk about an unhealed mind. I mean, you have to really be so unhealed if you dedicate your whole time to attacking somebody else. Even if they're an asshole and they deserve to be attacked. I mean, I don't know why you would spend that much time out of your life. And you're unhealed. And it's sad. It's very sad that there's a lot of unhealed people out there that they want to hurt other people just so other people can feel their pain. You are a bright light for many of us. Thank you, Dana. Well, thank you. You're a bright light. And you make my light brighter. Because you add value to me. You add value to the conversation, just like Trend News. And I appreciate that. And because without that support, too, if I'm being honest, I mean, I wouldn't be here. I mean, obviously, like I said, I'm a confident person. I'm always going to do my thing. But if I'm being honest with you and I'm not bullshitting you, if nobody ever joined my chats and I never got any comments, I wouldn't keep doing it over a long period of time. I mean, I would do other creative things and I would still push forward in my destiny. But by me having the support, and I'm certainly telling you, always think for yourself. Don't follow me blindly. Don't follow anyone blindly. That's not my goal for you. I want you to be yourself. I want you to think for yourself. But what I am acknowledging is that the support system that has been shown to me, without that, I don't do things like this on a regular basis. And so if I'm giving any light by the grace of God, I mean, you guys are part of that. Because, you know what I mean, I'll be bullshitting you if I say, well, if nobody watched, if I had nobody, I would still do it. I wouldn't. I would still be me. I would still push forward, but I would do something different. You understand what I'm saying? So I acknowledge you guys, man, and that's not bullshit to me. That's real. And I appreciate that. I do. I get excited. I mean, some people think it's crazy, but I get excited to do, especially the live thing. I mean, Tomorrow will be a full week of me going live every day. And for me, it's been very exciting. And I actually look forward to it. I don't look at it, and that's how you know, like, if it's something at this season of your life, if it's meant to be, if you look forward to doing it. You know, some people may look at certain things like a burden. And when you look at it as like a burden, some things are a burden. But when you look at it like that constantly and it nags your spirit, then it's like, well, maybe this isn't for me. But when you enjoy doing something, like, you know, it's not necessarily like work or something. I mean, you enjoy it, and that's a blessing. Because many people never find that. And you always hear like, oh, you never want to work a day in your life. Well, do something you love. I mean, you know, most people being able to find something they love and getting paid for and doing it is very rare. As I said, that's why even me, like, I work a full-time job and I do this. I mean, you have to do both, and also you have to realize that you have to heal yourself, okay? Because even if you find you want to be a real estate agent, you want to be a traffic cop, you know, you want to be a news director, whatever you want to be, if you're not healed and you get your dream job that you love to do, you won't enjoy it. You won't do it properly. Russell Contracting. I look forward to your videos. Don't stop. Russell Contracting. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Russell. And thank you for being bold enough to write that comment. Because, you know, especially when I see new people like say something like that, it means a lot to me. Thank you. And I used to do electrical contracting for many years, so I respect contracting business, okay? And I know what that's about. And so we connect on that level as well. So respect to you. And I know how the weekends are for contracting. I mean, I'm by a hardware store now. I mean, people go in and out of Home Depot all day. I remember working a night job. I worked nights for a private company, and then during the day I did contracting work to try to get my own business off the ground. And it's like, soon, you know, especially on the weekends, because on the weekends contractors have a lot of work because everybody who's off their job during the weekends, that's when they want contractors to come to their house. Because people can't take off on a Monday to have you come in their house and, you know, run electrical wires or do plumbing work. So a lot of times, if you're a contractor, you work on the weekends the most. And, you know, that could be very overwhelming. And that's what it was for me. That's why eventually I stopped, because I didn't have enough time to heal. I was talking about that earlier. I didn't have enough me time. And stress will kill you. Football Boots Review. What's up, my brother? Love and respect to you. I always appreciate you. No problem for being late. I want you to do you. I want you to live your life. And I appreciate you joining. And whenever you join us, love and respect, man. You've been a great added perspective to this conversation. Thank you, brother. Salute to you. But yeah, like I was talking with contracting, man. I mean, that was the problem, man. You pull yourself on both ends. And the weekend, that's the time when everybody wants work done in their house. And it never stops. And it's like you don't just get one thing done. You get one thing done, and then another thing happens, and your phone never stops ringing. It gets crazy. Hey, dude, American Writer. Respect American Writer. How are you, brother? Hey, dude, to you as well. And thank you again for correcting my grammar. I had made a video called, I think, like, Stress Suffocates You. Now, I've never been good with spelling, truth be told. Yeah, God bless you, brother. That's all right. You got to laugh. I always say, you got to laugh, and you got to laugh for yourself, or else you'll never have a healthy mind. You'll never have a healed mind, okay? So American Writer, no, it was something. No, I don't know. It was something. I appreciate that. I made a video called Stress Suffocates You, and I spelled suffocate wrong. One is I've never been a good speller. That's never been my strong suit. But that's why, too, I thank God for technology, for spell check. The only problem with that is sometimes spell check fucks you up, too. So, but either way, but he just made that correction. And he said, Sam, you know, just for a heads up, you put like an R or something in there. It shouldn't be an R. So, oh, shit, thank you. I remember one time, like, when I first started playing, when I used to love video games when I was a child. And one of the first basketball video games where you could they didn't yet have the official NBA players' names on them. They just had like, you had the ability to put their name in it because they were still figuring out the licensing. And it was a basketball game, and I love Magic Johnson. And so I picked him, and like he had the number 32, and he looked like Magic Johnson, but it didn't have his name, but you were allowed to put his name. So I inputted his name, and I spelled Magic Johnson, M-A-J-I-C, instead of M-A-G-I-C. And my friend like laughed at me, he spelled his name wrong. I was always bad with spelling. That's what it makes me think of. And I wrote a book, and I was bad with spelling. I can't tell you how many editions I went through with that, and it was self-published. I really didn't have a professional editor doing it. But you get the message. But either way, I say all that to say American Writer. Obviously, brother, part of your gift is if your name's American Writer, like I was talking about, there was a guy named Russell Contracting, and I was sharing with him my journey on contracting and how that played a part in my life, and I understand that mindset. So when I see the words American Writer, just like when I see Trend News, he has a mind for news. When I see Football Boots Review, obviously that brother has a passion in the football game. Is that American Writer? There's a passion inside you. There's a gift. There's a light. Something to do with writing. And if you have somewhat engaged in writing, there's somewhat of a mind to edit. Okay, to see the grammar, etc., etc., and that's a gift. That's a gift. Even in today's society where everything's modern and everything's on soft copy or audio books, there's still no problem for noticing. I thank you for putting out. I thank anyone, and I didn't always do. I thank anyone who has made their tag name for their YouTube channel, even if they don't have a channel, they're just a watcher, something related to their gift or their strength. Now, to be fair, when I first started and when I was insecure and I wasn't fully healed, I made like a XWZ account just so like nobody could tell who it was. But as I healed and as I matured in life, anytime like I do a tag name on a social media account, I make sure that it has a reflection of my soul, of my healed soul, of something that I inspire to do, that's something that matters to me and something that's part of me. So when I see an American Writer, there's a level of creativity, there's a level of communication, and there's a level of communicating a thought, okay? Because that's what the written word does, that's what the spoken word does. Oh, Moon Dancer! And I can't sing or dance, but I am way out there like the moon. Moon Dancer, love and respect to you. No, we love you, Moon Dancer. And I like that creative profile picture that you have of the moon. And I remember when you changed that a few months back, we first connected on Rusty 78609 channel. I remember that when you had a different profile picture thing, and now you changed it, you updated it. I noticed that. And Moon Dancer is a great Moon Dancer is just Moon Dancer, she's got a lot on her plate, but why I like Moon Dancer is that she doesn't give up. That's what I see in Moon Dancer, is that someone who's been through a lot, a mother's heart, but she doesn't give up. She gets knocked down like us all. I get knocked down. But the ability to get up, of course I like Rocky. I thought Rocky was a great movie. Why was Rocky a great movie? Because it's just a principle of life. That if you get knocked down, you get up again. You're not the greatest fighter, and you lose a lot of fucking matches. Truth be told, in life, you're going to lose more than you win, in my opinion. And it's the endurance that will bless you. The pushing forward. The Rocky movie that really I liked, I forgot what number it was, 4 or whatever. It was when, and I used to always watch the clip on YouTube. I would Google it, YouTube, in the YouTube search, Rocky inspires his son, Rocky's son speech. It's like Rocky 4 something. You're kind of Rocky. Thank you, American Writer. I'll take that compliment. That's a good compliment. Thank you, American Writer. It was like Rocky 4 something of that nature. Maybe, I don't know. It was when his son was coming of age and Rocky wanted to fight again. Well, Rocky always wants to fight again. We know that. Thank you. It was a compliment, and I thank you for saying that. Thank you. That means a lot to me. It does. Thank you. It inspires me. And Rocky is outside of his restaurant in Philadelphia. And his son is mad at him because he doesn't want him to fight again. And his son's trying to carve his own slot in the world, but he feels like he's living under Rocky's shadow. And he goes, why are you fighting again, Dad? You shouldn't be fighting again. You're making it harder for me. You're casting a shadow on me or whatever. And in so many words, he tells his son, look, life is about going out there and carving your own slot, not blaming someone else for casting a shadow on you. And that it's not about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep pushing forward, how much you can take and keep pushing forward. Endurance. Oh, I want you to search that on YouTube. I don't even care if you leave my live chat right now. Because again, it's not about leading you on the hook. That's not what this channel's about, all right? I want you to be the best you. All right? I'm going to be fine. You're going to be fine. God will figure all that out at the end. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to fucking lead each other astray. And that was a powerful moment for me. And that's what life's about. You're going to get hit more than you hit. You're going to take more than you give, and you have to learn to endure. And how do you endure? By learning to heal. And how do you heal? By separating things that are causing you pain, taking enough time for yourself, and then redirecting your energy. Redirecting your energy onto a different path. Okay? Very important. Very important. 5 more minutes. I want to structure. I want to manage my time. I'm going to try to do 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. every night as far as live streams, Eastern U.S. time. Right now, as I look at my clock on my Jeep Renegade, I live full-time my Jeep Renegade. I'm loving it. Last night, it was cold as hell. It was 25 degrees. I was shivering a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to layer up tonight, though. After I get out Planet Fitness, I'm going to layer up. Last night, I wasn't fully layered up. At 6:55 p.m. U.S. Eastern Standard Time. We got 5 more minutes, so believe me, I'm going to do the last 5 minutes. I like to structure my time. It's very hard. He sounds like Rocky, but he's a lot smart. Well, thank you. And I thought Rocky was very intelligent too, just the way he spoke. So, but thank you. And I saw too, Moondancer. I saw how intelligent you were when I did the updated top 3 Nomad video. And you broke it down. I thought you did a great job breaking down Rusty. I still watch Rusty. I still watch him. Well, Sylvester Stallone is a great writer. He was a great writer. American writer, you're really into the writing thing. Because if you know, like I do, that he wrote most of those Rocky movies. Not just acted in them. I mean, many people don't know that. That Sylvester Stallone, really, yeah, that's right, American writer. He is very, very much a good writer. And he wrote a lot of scripts of things that he acted in. And if you listen to the lyrical content and the writing skills of those Rocky movies, they're not action movies. Like the scene I just gave you is so well written that there's a lot of thought that goes into that. I mean, amazing. And Paradise Alley. No, I haven't seen it. I have to YouTube search that maybe tonight. Thank you for the recommendation. And Moondancer, I didn't forget about you. Yeah, that comment you wrote on top 3 Nomad channels, I saw you broke down and you wrote very well your thoughts, and I respected that. I thought you did a great job of giving an analysis and not just being hateful or one-sided or not just showing favoritism. So I respect that. And Paradise Alley, is anybody American writer? What is Paradise Alley about? Just give me a brief summary. I'm curious because I never heard of that, and I liked a lot of Rocky a lot of Sylvester Stallone movies. What's Paradise Alley about? Oh, water's good, man. Well, he wrote the book. What's the book about? Oh, it's going to be a beautiful weekend. It's going to be a positive weekend. All right, we keep pushing forward, and things are looking up. It's similar to Rocky, but has to do with wrestling. Okay, I'll check that out. You know what movie that I liked that had to do with wrestling was Final Quest. I believe that's the name of it. Came out in the 80s. Or Vision Quest. Vision Quest, I think it was. If anyone has seen Vision Quest, please leave a comment, because that was a powerful movie. It was about a young guy who was in high school, I think, and he fell in love with a little bit older girl. And his soundtrack was from Madonna. That was when Madonna was in the 80s. I loved Madonna in the 80s. I still listen to Madonna. The 80s Madonna, I thought she was a phenomenal artist. I like Madonna. And Vision Quest. Vision Quest is a great movie. I also recommend that you YouTube search that, and that you YouTube search the soundtrack to Vision Quest. What other great musical artist was on that soundtrack? Damn, there was another good song on there, but I don't remember. From the 80s. Great movie. About wrestling, but really about life, of coming of age. I like that movie. Very good movie. Moondancer, I missed a comment. I apologize. A lot of passion shows in the Rocky movies. Yeah, that's right, Dana. That's right. A lot of passion. And you need passion. Like I share with you guys, you need knowledge and wisdom. You need that. But you also need a level of passion and intensity. You need both. You can be very intelligent, but not have no passion, you won't get shit done. You have too much passion, not enough knowledge, you can do the wrong shit. You understand what I'm saying? You gotta balance that out. You need knowledge and you need passion. And you need the proper balance, and then you push forward. You understand me? Praise the Lord. We are at T-minus 30 seconds. Oh, man. It was a great live chat. And I'm trying to get better. And even if I don't, I'm going to be consistent as best I can. And I'm going to thank each and every one of you tonight and every night that you've joined me, whether it's through the YouTube video comments or whether the live stream is really special. And you guys make it special, because if I'm just talking to myself, it's not as special. I mean, I want to be very honest. So thank each one of you. Thank you for telling me to stay warm, Dana. I will. I'm going to layer up tonight because last night got a little cold. I'm not going to lie to you. But thank you so much. I'm not going to rush that. I just want to acknowledge you guys. I don't want to rush that. I got to thank you, man. You know, the connection, the comments, to being bold enough that you guys write a comment, to being respectful and to sharing. I appreciate it. I'm thankful. I want you guys to have a great, positive night. I'll close on this. To be your best self. To fulfill your destiny, you have to heal. You have to separate yourself from what's hurting you. You have to take time yourself to repair. You have to redirect your energy to things that inspire you. You have to let go tonight of every negative thought, every self-criticism. Every time you go to the bathroom and you look in the mirror and you see an imperfection, I want you to let go of that thought. If you wake up at 1 a.m. and you replay a conversation of an argument you had with your child, or argument you had with your parent, or argument you had with your boss, I want you to let go of that thought. I want you to live a free life, not a life led around by the hook, whether it's from your pastor, whether it's from a YouTube guy, whether it's from anybody. I want you to lead your own life. And I want you to know that you're confident enough to do it, and that you have all the gifts inside you. Clean your soul, heal yourself, and you will hear those gifts talk to you. All right? Thank you. And I look forward to hitting to 100K. And if I don't hit 100K, I look forward to you hitting 100K, because I want you guys to be successful. All right? God bless, man. Stay inspired.